online and via Facebook at ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation. When we open the phone line, the number to call is 662-8674. That is 662-8674. And again, let me also apologize as that is the only number that's available right now, as we are doing some renovations and repairs to better serve you. So the number is 662-8674. Let me use this opportunity to extend birthday greetings to those of you who are celebrating today or during the course of the week. And remember those who are mourning the loss of a loved one. And I pray that you find comfort in the fond memories shared. Monday was a significant day, and the developments that came out of Monday, of course, are still being talked about. Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America. And you may ask yourself, what does this mean for me who lives in Sandy Point, St. Kitts, or Charlestown, Nevis, or Jessops in St. Thomas's Parish, Nevis? You may ask, what does this have to do with us here in the Caribbean? If Donald Trump, or anybody for that matter, is the president. The truth is, what happens on the global stage or the international stage, what happens in the United States, what happens in the United Kingdom, and those larger countries affect us. And there are implications. When you look at our regional politics and the implications of Trump's inauguration on the Caribbean, the pros and the cons. You look at U.S.-Caribbean relations, not just under Trump. You look at Caribbean diplomacy strategies, geopolitical shifts and influences, youth and political awareness. And so essentially, what does this mean? You look at tourism dependency and U.S. travel policies and how it affects the tourism industry in the Caribbean, as tourism is, as I would call it, the bread and butter of the Caribbean. And most countries depend heavily on revenue from that sector. You look at trade and sanctions impact. And of course, this has been making the headlines: immigration crackdowns. And what implications it would have on the Caribbean, what implications it would have on St. Kitts and Nevis. And of course, I'd like to get your view and opinion on this. And let's see how we could bring it home. And I want to continue the conversation because I believe there is much more to add. But I was making the point that here in St. Kitts and Nevis and in the region, we are very passionate about immigration. How people enter our country, how people enter our borders. If they are entering legally, if they are coming here to make a meaningful contribution, a positive contribution to our community and to our society. Are they putting a strain on our healthcare system? Are they putting a strain on our social safety nets? Or are they paying their taxes? Are they being responsible residents, working honestly and, doing what they're supposed to be doing? And so wherever you go, in any country, you would hear its people speak passionately about immigration. Because when you look at immigration, you're not just talking about people, whether they come via plane, boat, fishing boat, a bicycle, whatever. You're not just looking at that on the surface, but you're looking at the negative or the positive that could come from that. And so the positive could be they're bringing their skills, their education, their experience to our labor market, because what they're bringing we may not necessarily have here. And if we do have it, we don't have it in an abundance, or we don't have the required amount to serve the population, the needs of the population. And so you have people who are coming from other parts of the globe, and they're not just coming with their too long hand. They're coming to train our people. They're coming to bring their experience and their expertise towards the development of our country. Then you look at the negative. You have those who come, and they come to make no real contribution. They don't want to pay taxes. They just want to be lawless. And so when you look at immigration, those are the things that you must take into consideration. So again, tourism dependency, trade and sanctions impact, immigration crackdowns. I'm pretty sure you have seen the reports across various news outlets that the Trump administration will be cracking down on immigration, targeting illegal migrants. And people have given their take on this, their position, saying, well, this is what you voted for. And you should have voted for the Democrats, or you should have voted for Kamala Harris, because she would not have taken this road. And those comments have made me really, sit down and ask myself some questions. If here in St. Kitts and Nevis, or in the Caribbean, we are allowed to highlight the concerns and the negative and the implications that come out of illegal migration, where we're saying our workforce, our healthcare system, our social safety nets, we just can't absorb all of these people. You can come, but you come the legal way. Why is it that we're saying to America that they should just take all the illegal migrants? That's a question that you should think about. And that has been the general thought or opinion of most people, that, well, America is seen as a big, wealthy country, and I'm not disputing that. But there are laws. And just as how you would not want somebody to come to St. Kitts and Nevis illegally, and as some may say, take a job from somebody, why is it that you would want to go to America, or somebody else to go to America, or any country for that matter, and just go in and come as you like? No. Because then you're talking about the impact on healthcare, you're talking about the impact on education, you're talking about the impact on the different social programs that they have, and all of these things that you must really take into consideration. So I'd like to have a conversation with you, get your views, thoughts, and opinions on this, and, share how you feel. Before we take a break, though, I'd want to share some information that I promised to share as it relates to the Budget Boost wallet. So for people who are looking for assistance with the Budget Boost wallet or any social assistance program, there is a list of community centers across St. Kitts that are open Monday through Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. On Fridays, the staff report to Lime Keen office for meetings. So Monday to Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And the centers that are available are the Newtown Community Center, and the contact information for that is 667-8533. Then we have the St. Peter's Community Center. The contact information is 667-3048. We have the McKnight Community Center, 760-3585. Old Road Community Center, 667-3209. Sandy Point, that's the Lighthouse Baptist Church, 760-4071. St. Paul's Community Center, 662-7710. Tabernacle Community Center, 760-3555. And the Utley's Lodge Community Center, 762-3048. And the administration's office number is 467-1020. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay tuned.
Attention business owners. This Valentine's season, let ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation help you spread the love and grow your brand. From January 19th to February 14th, take advantage of our exclusive Valentine's advertising package. With ZIZ, your heartfelt message reaches thousands across all popular radio platforms. Make this Valentine's Day unforgettable. Promote your romantic specials, products, and services to an audience eager to celebrate love. With our customized ad solutions, we'll help you stand out, spark connections, and boost your sales. Don't miss out on this perfect opportunity to share the love and maximize your exposure. Call us at 869-662-8203 or email vinet@zizonline.com to book your Valentine's campaign today. ZIZ Broadcasting, connecting your business with your customers this Valentine's season. Valentine's advertising specials, January 12th to February 14th. Call 869-662-8203 today.
This is my land, my island, our home. The climate has changed, it's becoming strange. We have to come together to keep her forever resilient and strong. We need some civilization for its rehabilitation. Come together as a nation for drought and flood mitigation. Development with policies and plans. Let's change our ways, protect our lands. Get involved, every child, woman and man. Island resilience has got the plan. This is my land, my island, our home. It's time to come together to keep her forever resilient and strong.
Island Resilience, promoting a climate of change. The Climate Change Adaptation and Sustainable Land Management Initiative of the OECS Commission, funded by the European Union.
Hey, guess what? It's Radio Market.
Call in and sell your merchandise. You can negotiate and negotiate, give away and trade.
We on radio, internet, and TV.
Like us, share us, and subscribe to
ZIZonline.com.
And remember, we don't sell nothing over $5,000. Join us every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock right here on ZIZ Radio. Call 465-6120, 465-1903, 662-8674 or 718-577-2916. ZIZ Radio, giving back to the people.
Join us every Wednesday for In Focus, a weekly talk show produced by the St. Kitts Nevis Information Service, where we provide exclusives with key persons within the government and discuss pertinent, relevant, and interesting matters that affect us all. Tune in every Wednesday, live on ZIZ Radio and streamed live on Facebook at SKNIS Media and ZIZ Online. In Focus, your government, your business.
Listen, you hear the song? It's Nostalgia on ZIZ Radio from 1 to 3 in the afternoon on Thursdays. On Nostalgia, everybody has a good voice, so relax and go in the zone with us. Get your songbook, look in the index, find the song that is playing, and sing along. Join ZIZ Radio every Thursday from 1 to 3 for Nostalgia. It's music to soothe you right where it hurts. ZIZ Radio, touching you with variety and style.
It has been 2 years since Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew led his team to victory at the polls and assumed the reins of government. He and his team came to office on the promise of restoring our nation to its glory days, when good governance assured every citizen and resident was guaranteed economic stability and employment, quality health care and education, modern housing, and visionary social protections. But where are they now? And how do they measure up in delivering on the promises made to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis? Join me, Ebony Brandon, on ZIZ Television each Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Fridays at 8 p.m. for the limited episode series, The Nine, an era of transformation. As together we explore how the Dr. Terence Drew-led government has followed through on their commitment to transforming the nation into the world's first sustainable island state.
Welcome back to The Edge and ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today. It's 11:20. We're going to open the phone lines shortly. You can call us at 662-8674. And so one of the biggest questions for our region is how U.S. policies under Donald Trump will affect us. Historically, the Caribbean's close ties to the United States have made our economies highly sensitive to shifts in Washington. And when you look at tourism dependency, did you know that in 2023, more than 50% of visitors to St. Kitts and Nevis came from the U.S.? So the U.S. is what we call a source market. So you have the U.S., the United Kingdom, Europe, but a large number of our visitors come from the United States. Any changes to American travel policies, such as stricter passport rules or economic slowdowns, could hit us hard, and this is why we need to monitor these policies closely, which I assume the necessary authorities are. When you look at trade and aid, Trump's preference for bilateral deals over multilateral agreements could reshape how we negotiate for trade. For example, how might this impact agricultural exports or access to funding from agencies like USAID? These are things that we must pay attention to. I was reading a statement recently from WHO where Donald Trump has signed an executive order to withdraw the United States from the World Health Organization, which I believe is a drastic move, and I would like to hear or I would like to see why. I mean, why such a move was made, and how would this impact public health or global health. And you would know that the US was one of the founding members of the WHO, and they played a really important role in eradicating a lot of diseases, especially in places like Africa and so on. So to completely withdraw the United States from WHO, I think is wild. I think it's wild. And for me, it shows the level of seriousness, which is very low, that the incoming president or the president has as it relates to public health or global health. And I say that based off of the fact that he is in favor of withdrawing the US from WHO, which is wild. And for me, the reason why it's wild as well is here in the Caribbean, small islands like St. Kitts and Nevis, we are fighting up ourselves to ensure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed as it relates to WHO and international standards. Meanwhile, the US, which is a mover and shaker in the international landscape, has decided to completely withdraw. So it begs the question, why are we still, trying to do these things? Not suggesting that we shouldn't, but yeah. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation quickly.
It has been 2 years since Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew led his team to victory at the polls and assumed the reins of government. He and his team came to office on the promise of restoring our nation to its glory days, when good governance assured every citizen and resident was guaranteed economic stability and employment, quality health care and education, modern housing, and visionary social protections. But where are they now, and how do they measure up in delivering on the promises made to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis? Join me, Ebony Brandon, on ZIZ Television each Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Fridays at 8 p.m. for the limited episode series, The Nine, an era of transformation, as together we explore how the Dr. Terence Drew-led government has followed through on their commitment to transforming the nation into the world's first sustainable island state.
Welcome back to the Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 662-8674. That is 662-8674. But in the meantime, I was mentioning that the fact that the United States has announced its intent to withdraw from the WHO. We have our first call for this morning. A caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Devonne, good morning.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm fine. I heard you the other night on a different legislation. Oh, you is growing in this thing called radio. How are you? Devonne, quickly. Is it the Muslim Prime Minister, I think it's Nevis, put out a statement controlling Marcus Messiah Garvey? Because Garvey's soul gone last, you know. He put out a statement, Devonne?
If the Prime Minister put out a statement, yes, there's a statement,
with Muslim Prime Minister.
There's a statement from the Prime Minister expressing gratitude for the posthumous pardon of Marcus Garvey.
Why last away, man? Jew and they're supposed to be Pan-Africanists. Jew and Junie libel. Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther. The U.S. decided to honor them, which in I personally accept Garvey one. But we will got to work with it. But the Caribbean government, man, you don't hear nothing about Marcus. That guy does so much for black people and the whole. You don't hear them because he ain't white. He don't white. He ain't white. He ain't a white person. Devonne, I want to tell the government I think it's Nevis. Not because the government come. I was using methods to transfer information to the people. Use all the town hall them. The Focus University got tell all to disseminate information to poor people. God bless Timothy Harris when we had the pandemic. The way he laid out things and get full control of the poor people. Let them know what's going on and what the government doing and how money will disseminate. These jokey fellas, they're gone.
All right, man. Thank you for your contribution to the program. As you were talking about the Caribbean response, I've seen statements from CARICOM, Mia Motley in her capacity as the chair for CARICOM. St. Kitts and Nevis has issued a statement. I believe St. Vincent and the Grenadines, as well as Jamaica, they too have issued a statement. The phone lines remain open and we take your calls at 662-8674. That is 662-8674. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. If you are just tuning in, we were discussing regional politics in terms of the implications of the new presidency in the United States. And I want to look at CARICOM's role in navigating regional challenges. And so in response to past U.S. policies, CARICOM has emphasized dialogue and cooperation. And CARICOM has said that the Caribbean must remain united and assert its place on the global stage as a region of peace, prosperity, and partnership. And so you can't have member states within CARICOM saying their own thing or doing their own thing and not banding together and saying this is what CARICOM is saying and this is where we stand. And so should CARICOM consider forging stronger alliances with other global powers like China or the European Union as a counterbalance to U.S. influence? And what does this mean for small states like St. Kitts and Nevis? What does this mean for small states like St. Kitts and Nevis when you look at the immigration policies and the cultural impact? In 2018, thousands of Caribbean nationals were deported under tighter U.S. immigration enforcement, and this disrupted, of course, families and placed economic pressure on home countries. Could we see a repeat of this? And some have said point blank, if you're illegal, then you should be deported. But others have argued, if you are illegal, but you have no criminal background, you are making a contribution to the to society, to the economy, and you're just going about your daily business, then we should hear your case. And we should give you, what they call it, an amnesty period, and allow you to become a permanent resident or a legal resident or a citizen, right? But for those who are illegal and just causing havoc in the place, I can tell you that they will be first on the list in terms of deportation. And then you're talking about youth engagement and the way forward. It's vital for young people to stay informed about these issues. And you may not want to be glued to the news or your television or whatever the case may be. But it is important for us to know what is happening on the global stage, because, again, what happens there, it affects us. And so, as young people, I believe it's our responsibility to understand how decisions are made here in St. Kitts and Nevis, how decisions are made at the CARICOM level, how decisions are made, whether it be in Washington or in London, because one way or the other, it affects us, and we need to stay informed, and we need to stay involved. And so if you're a young listener today, consider joining initiatives that connect you to global conversations. We can't keep saying that it's the same thing over and over and over, and things need to change. I maintain that if you want things to change, you need to be a part of that change. And the future is yours to shape. It's not just mine. It's not just one person's. It is all of us. And you got to be a part. You have to be a part of that process. Then also happening on Monday is Marcus Garvey being pardoned. And a debate has erupted over social media regarding him being pardoned, and questions being raised about why wasn't he fully exonerated. And of course, people looked at the timing, where some have suggested that it was just a political move. Well, I'm on my way out, and so let me do this so that it could be a part of my legacy, where people can say, I, Joseph Biden, pardoned Marcus Garvey. People have criticized the timing of it, but our governments and regional institutions have applauded the step taken by Joe Biden for pardoning Marcus Garvey. This is not me suggesting that he should not have been pardoned, but I'm just saying that these are some of the questions and the concerns that have been brought to the fore. And so the policies of the U.S. under Donald Trump's administration will have ripple effects on our region. But again, with proper planning and unity of our people here in CARICOM, and of course active involvement from our people, in particular our youth, the Caribbean can navigate the challenges and turn them into opportunities. It's 11:35. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge. Stay with us.
Water is life, 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 life. Water is life, 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 life. Do just one thing,
Every drop comes. Make sure you check for leaks around your house every day. Every drop comes. When brushing your teeth, don't let the water run away. Come save the water, preserve the water right now. Every drop comes. Save the water whenever you take in your shower. Every drop comes. Make saving the water your business every hour. The water, the water, the water, the water right now. It's up to me and you and you and you and you. The water right now.
one thing.
Attention business owners. This Valentine's season, let ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation help you spread the love and grow your brand. From January 19th to February 14th, take advantage of our exclusive Valentine's advertising package. With ZIZ, your heartfelt message reaches thousands across our popular radio platforms. Make this Valentine's Day unforgettable. Promote your romantic specials, products, and services to an audience eager to celebrate love. With our customized ad solutions, we'll help you stand out, spark connections, and boost your sales. Don't miss out on this perfect opportunity to share the love and maximize your exposure. Call us at 869-662-8203 or email vinet@zizonline.com to book your Valentine's campaign today. ZIZ Broadcasting, connecting your business with your customers this Valentine's season. Valentine's advertising specials, January 12th to February 14th. Call 869-662-8203 today.
Welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. The phone lines are open and we welcome your calls at 662-8674. That's 662-8674. And we're also being streamed live via our social media platforms. Check us out on YouTube, ZIZ Online, and via Facebook at ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation. Again, for those of you who may have missed just the places you can visit for assistance for the Budget Boost Wallet, that's the Newtown Community Center, St. Peter's, McKnight, Old Road, Sandy Point Lighthouse Baptist Church, St. Paul's Tabernacle, and the Utley's Lodge Community Centers. That's where you can go if you are in need of assistance for signing up for the Budget Boost Wallet. Remember, you must sign up before the end of the month if you are to receive the payment for this month. If not, there will be no retroactive payments. And so if you sign up in February, you will only receive the payment for February. Some numbers to call are 467-1020 or 467-1497. Or you can call 765-89 or 5993. That's 765-5993 to get more assistance on that. Now, shifting the focus to Marcus Garvey and the fact that he was pardoned, I believe this is a significant thing for us here in the region. Marcus Garvey, 1887 to 1940, was a Jamaican political leader, and he was a very important figure in the Pan-African movement and black empowerment. And he empowered black people across the region and across the U.S. His Universal Negro Improvement Association promoted self-reliance, black pride, and economic independence. Now, in 1923, Garvey was convicted of mail fraud in the United States, a charge many historians and supporters argue was politically motivated due to his influence and activism. And so he was seen as somebody who was highly influential. I think we have a caller on the line, so let's take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Devon. Good morning.
Yes, how are you doing today?
Well, I hear just come from the animals then.
Mm-hmm.
Devon, you get anything work out with your overseas line?
No, so as I mentioned earlier, we're doing some renovations to better serve you. So the only phone line available right now is our mobile which is 662-8674.
Yeah, that is what I tell you what he called. He called me this morning and tell me the same thing, that you are talking it out.
Yes,
anyway,
so,
Devonne, let me make me input. Now, Devonne, talking about Donald Trump and what he going to do. Donald Trump campaign said what he going to do before he get in there, you know, with this illegal immigrants, you know, and what he going to do, you know. And don't you think black illegal immigrants vote to Donald Trump, you know? Ever no part of the world when black people always cut the tail part. Black people always cut the tail part. Talking about Marcus Garvey, don't you think a lot of black people think they stand up with Marcus Garvey? A lot of black people stand up with Marcus Garvey neither. If black people was together, you think if black people were together, we'll be forced to reckon with Marcus Garvey, Malcolm, except all those guys. Martin Luther King and all those guys. When they will demonstrate against the white supremacy, you know, man, if black people stand up against them, I believe black people have been strong in America and a country part of America. You understand? We ain't together, and that is our downfall. And black people ain't want to try to be together. Our black man do when he know he rich and he gets power, he do what he feel like. He end up just with the white man, them and whosoever, and he'll treat the evil people them. All in Africa, these things will take place. Yeah? Me and others jump down on all of us. We don't going to see black people come together. Not how we shout every ball. Colonji, all of us. Colonji, we ain't going to see black people come together. We really want downfall. We fight on each other too much. Look at the Indian them. When they come, look at the Chinese them. When they come in the country, they try to unite. Everyone in them work together. Nobody watch nobody. Nobody got nobody in the corner with it. They come in the country, they come look work. When a black man out there work against your own brother. In one country, you do the same thing. So how are we going to be together? Okay, then, brother Devonne, you have a wonderful day.
All right, caller, you too, and thank you so much for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. The phone lines remain open at 662-8674. That is 662-8674. And you see, that's one of the major topics on our the pardoning of Marcus Garvey and immigration. And so when you look at why the pardon matters, one, the recognition of the historical injustice. And so the pardon, I would say, symbolizes a broader acknowledgement of the racial and political oppression faced by Garvey and other civil rights leaders of his era, and it also calls attention to systemic injustices that persist today, fostering discussions on criminal justice reform. Let's head back to the phone lines and think we have a caller. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, Mr. Cornelius, good morning.
Good morning.
I just called to make a contrast to the last call about black people fighting and black and all those stuff. And I've been hearing it over the years, black people is the worst. But let me contrast that because I sat down and I analyzed things. And if you look at what's going on around the world, so many wars happening where it's civil wars, it's not invasion war. So they own kind of fighting on their kind. So those who are here, they're fighting on each one another. They have their differences. We might not know that because we are not among them.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we are not the worst. Yes, we compete, pull down, criticize one another as black persons, but we are not the worst. It's a human nature. The heart of man are desperately wicked. So you find the same race, whether Indian, Chinese, black, Caucasian, they fight down each other. They have differences. So I just wanted to open up people's eyes and tap hold on to that concept where black people is the worst. Okay.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. And you've brought a really interesting perspective. And you see, you're saying don't tie it to a race. People are just going to be people.
Yes. That's the nature of people. We're prone to do evil. sad to say.
All right, caller. Thank you so much for your contribution to the program. It's 11:46 and we're taking your calls. 662-8674. That's the number you call to lend your voice to the conversation here happening right now. But caller, thank you so much for that. That's an interesting perspective. We've always been hearing black people need to work together, black people need to stand together. And interesting enough, we've been hearing this for a very long time. And those of you who are older than I am would agree with me when I say that you've been hearing about this for a very long time. What's interesting is the people are certain people who would say that we need to work together are not really working together. So it begs the question, what exactly are we looking for? When you look at this thing with the parting of Marcus Garvey, and you look at the Caribbean and the diaspora legacy, even though Garvey is a national hero in Jamaica and a global symbol for black empowerment, the pardon enhances his already significant legacy and reinforces the importance of his work. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
I am doing well. What about you?
Well, this is the first time I call in, and I normally listen, and I listen to all the contribution, but it's something that's standing on my mind.
Okay.
About your discussions. You don't have some real good discussions, and you master the discussion very well. So I must give you credit for that.
Thank you.
But it's just an idea popping into my head. We discuss Carnival, we discuss different artists, we discuss Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all of these great icons. And that is good. But I'm asking you, because as I told you already, I haven't been getting to listen long, but when I do get a chance to listen, I do listen. Have you ever thought about having a religious discussion?
A religious discussion?
Yeah.
I've had those thoughts, yes. But in a case like that, I prefer to get ministers of the religion to join me in the discussion and hear this, those who are for and those who are against, to get both sides.
The reason why it came to me is this, what I realized, right, is that Carnival and everything, we debate about all these things, and there's something I've realized with the radio stations on a whole. Whenever we get in a hurricane, we go into what we call a spiritual mode. When a hurricane passes us, we say, oh God, thank you to the blessed country. Thank you to the spiritual country. And then soon as the hurricane passes, we go back to being weak. Here I use the word. We go back to being weak. You understand? It's only when a crisis happens or something happens, we call on God and we say God is good and we this and we that and so forth. But are we subconscious that it is something embedded in us for us to do? Because you hardly get these conversations, what I'm saying. Most of the time we talk about this topic for that, but we hardly get that conversation. As you say now, when you're having that now, you have to go and try to get certain people. Why not have just an open discussion? You know, as kind of ministers, because what I'm saying, you yourself, subconsciously, if you can answer certain questions because you're not biblically inclined, you see your input on how you feel, and just open it to the general public to talk about how they feel and the concept. Because as little as saying it is, a lot of people think it's not believe in God. People believe in different things. People believe in different icons. Some people believe in Selassie. Some people believe in the Quran. Because we must remember right now, since it's a multitude of people of different types of religion. You got Hindu, you got Muslim, you got Latter-day Saints, Jehovah's Witness, all kind of different people. And I think it will be a very, very good discussion. I hardly hear these discussions on the radio. Most of the time we hear about talk shows is like either crime, a great icon leader, or this, or that. And we're not even in playing music. If you realize the concept of playing music in saying, we play most foreign music. We don't play a lot of the local music. It's only on Tuesday night you may hear they play a little calypso or so, but most of the time when you as a kitchen and I hear some the other day and somebody from St. Kitts and I didn't even do that. I said, what? And we got this kind of talent here, but most of the time, most of the radio stations you play most, especially afternoon, the Jamaicans. And what I'm saying, we're not gonna identity. It's like we think it's our identity. It's last. We got a lot of Jamaicans here. All of a sudden, we got the youth them they want to be Jamaicans. You got that, and it's like, and you who is a kid, you should know when you go outside there, when people say, "Where you from?" You're from Jamaica. When you're in England, they say, "Where you from?" You're from Jamaica, no? Not yes. And you tell them St. Kitts. Where is St. Kitts? You got to say St. Christopher Nevis. But most of the people in St. Kitts, they lose their identity to a foreign nation and not keeping their identity.
All right.
But these are discussions I would really like to have. It's just a thought. It don't have to happen, but it's just a thought, and I just said I'll try now to you. For one of these time, you can plan a discussion right now.
All right, Colin. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. It's 11:52, and we are taking your calls. Let's head back to the phone lines, and we'll take this one. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning. Okay, I'm not getting that. The caller. The phone lines remain open at 662-8674. That's 662-8674. It's 11:53, and you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Yes, caller, I definitely hear where you're coming from, and I have had thoughts of having a discussion on that regarding, people being religious only when a hurricane comes. I would say it's not just radio stations, it's all of us. All of us, we do it. When hurricanes come, we pray. When the hurricane's gone, we go back to regular programming. You have a call on the line? Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
You're Devonne again. Devonne, when we got to the poll, who we vote for? Down here in St. Kitts, maybe. Who we vote for?
We vote for
we vote for black man, right? And when we don't vote for the black man, vote for black, who don't get the benefit? You find a kind of white man come in instead of invest, and you're the black man because you come with this small. You can't get some land to try develop yourself, do some farming or something. You understand? So black against black. White against white, really. But when the last caller they said that they fight on one another too. They do it in the country. But when they go into any other body country, they come as one, they build as one. Look at the Chinese them, look at the Indian them. They're like family. They act like brothers and sisters, and we look alike too. We're supposed to do the same thing too. When we go to other people's country, we work as one. But instead of that, we pull against each other. We pull down each other. We tear down each other. We say all negative things amongst each other. And we join with the white man or the Indian or the Chinese. And backtalk you. Backtalk you to put you out of business. And this is what's going on. This is what's really going on. Eh? If we really see what's a black leaders. Black leaders. We like a black. Look when we vote for a unity government the other day. We vote for unity government. The black man they be. And what happened? What happened? Because of some political greed or something or the other. You understand? So when me and you not gonna live with the black people unite. The world got to unite properly. Everybody got to unite in the world. Indian, Chinese, black, mixed. Who's the Hispanic? Everybody got to unite together. Black, nobody got to unite. I got to control this world. When the father when you going to intervene, the world and everybody unite as one another. Nobody want to come as one. Nobody want to see one another as one. All right then.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge here in ZIZ Radio. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good day. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, and you are?
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Right.
Just two things. I don't think the gentleman was saying black people are the only ones who are like that. I think he was saying because he's Kittitian and he lives here, he sees it amongst us a lot. And he was referencing that from experience. So it's not to say that other cultures, other nationalities don't have what is labeled as a crab in a barrel syndrome. it exists there, but it's just that our small population, proximity, us knowing each other, it really hurts. And it's evident every single day. The second caller spoke about broadening the spectrum of topics. I like that. The other day I was watching a documentary and I ended up in discussion, and it was biblical. Growing up, we were whether taught or indoctrinated to just accept certain things. And the topic was about Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Was Eve actually tempted by a serpent? A serpent as a snake, a serpent as a deceptive fallen angel, or a serpent as a shining human figure. And these are the little discussions now that we can be critical, objectively critical. I think it would be nice to have them and listen to what experts and others say on the issue.
Mm-hmm. All right, Carter, thank you so much
yes,
for that. You are listening to The Edge. It's 11:57. I think we can take one more call and then we'll wrap up the conversation for today. Call us at 662-8674. That's 662-8674. If you are just tuning in, you are listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM, and I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius. And let me use this opportunity to say thank you so much for your participation in the program for today. Thank you so much for listening and calling in and sharing your views and opinions on the matters that we have discussed today, the inauguration of Donald Trump and what it means for the Caribbean region, especially a small island developing state like St. Kitts and Nevis, and what does the pardoning of Marcus Garvey mean for us here in St. Kitts and Nevis and across the region, looking at the historical or the recognition of the historical injustice, the Caribbean and diaspora legacy, and the inspiration for modern activism. As Marcus Garvey, he promoted self-reliance, he promoted economic empowerment, and he definitely promoted unity. And so with him being pardoned, I think is a significant thing for us here in the Caribbean, and looking at the relevance to today. How do Marcus Garvey's teachings resonate with current social justice movements, and what lessons can young activists draw from his advocacy for economic independence and unity? You've been listening to The Edge and ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM for Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. I've been your host, Devonne Cornelius. Until next time, stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Please, I'm begging you, take it easy on the road. Coming up now is our major newscast, our midday newscast. Stay tuned.